Hi, my name is Michi and that's my channel. um, I'm confused. And I'm really frustrated. This big Bluebird puzzles, it cost me nerves. It was difficult. It's sorting by sorting by sorting. I have touched every piece 5 times till I have think of this is maybe in this section, maybe. Not that I really know, but maybe. And I have so much pieces laying out, sorted by shape, swapped. And when I've got on the big board, I build here, I build there, I build here, I build there. I get one piece there, one piece there, one piece there. And they're not big sections. And so I make a full time lapse so that I can see what I've done. And it's so lost. This build is one big blur. I don't know where which goes, and my comments, like a vlog, like I always ramble about what I'm just doing or what I'm thinking about that I just do, and they make no sense. And now I decided to make not only 2 parts of the build, but 3 parts. I just can't do it in 2 parts. It's too much time. It took me too much time to build, and the content of the building would be totally lost. So I make 3 parts. And now that's with the intro 4 parts and the full-time lapse 5 parts. And so it would be 5 videos in this row. There are really much videos, but I think I make them simultaneously, and so I think I release them relatively in short days. So maybe it cost me 1 or 2 days more to add these videos, but they're then all ready, and I release this day by day by day, so that you get in a shorter row the building videos. And the second thing I would do is make overtones. Maybe I do this overtones on time lapse, and so it would be shorter and compact, and I can say a little bit while I'm building it, but the process is so lost, so confusing, and so that I didn't remember everything, so that I don't know if this video is to look at and to enjoy. By the next big build, I really must make my gameplay before I build it. Simply build it like I always build my puzzles, like I'm sorting my pieces, trying to find pieces that link together and doing a little bit of that, sorting the rest again in the pile and digging the next pile and trying to do a little bit of this pile, and then get my miscellaneous pieces or missing or leftover pieces and throw them on the plate and sort them by shape and trying to fill in when I recognize, oh, that must be there. And then I'm filling in pieces. So the process is whole of this sort of doing the puzzle. So it's not so nice to look at. The Clementoni was a section by a section by a section, and I could build big sections and then they come together, and on the big board they come really together. It was a nice build, but this puzzle, it was so difficult so that I couldn't do whole big sections of a puzzle as its whole. I've always leftover pieces, always holes, always missing pieces so that I can't assemble everything, and that makes it really difficult to make videos about, that they look like you can look at it. I watched the full time lapse now two times in a row, and I don't get it. It's not that satisfying, that building it together, so it's always trying to do my best. I hope it gets to watch. So I wish you, for the first of the 3-part buildings, I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, you get the next videos shortly after. Of course, I think I will adding all this and trying to release them one by one. So like I said, so that you didn't wait extra long to see this whole build. So I wish you, for part 1, nice build, and hope you enjoy. Bye for me. Let me tell you that I've sorted pieces, unsorted pieces, unsorted pieces, but this time it was only 5 hours. I don't know why, but I think I have missorted so much. I really had troubles. I really want to have a operation manual. Which way do I do sorting? Maybe I get better by the time, or by the next time it get better, but yes, I sorted by color, and that's it's difficult. It is difficult to sort by color, because sometimes you have pink pieces, but it's also orange pieces and also red pieces, and sometimes there is a little bit more yellow, and sometimes the flowers are blurry. They sometimes have these curved lines, these long lines, and yes, I tried to sort these small pieces, but I think that's a red piece, but it's a red piece with long petals from the flower. And I knew that's from my other sort of flower. Maybe I should do sorting about this kind of flower, this kind of flower, this kind of flower. In the end, everything was what's red or orange or sometimes pink is landed in this box here. And everything that's blue, light blue or turquoise, and then light green is here, but I have an extra green box. That's this box. That's green. And here I have these blurry pieces of green, and when you see these 2 pieces, then you knew why I say I've missorted so much pieces. I knew at the end I have here these pieces and here these pieces, and they are the same, and sometimes I have sorted them in here and sometimes I have sorted them in here, although I think the light and turquoise one are more here and the green ones are more here, but I don't think I have an accurate sort that I can puzzle, and the pile of the puzzle is immensely big. That when I started it, it feels normally and it feels good, and I thought I could do this in this sort, but at the end, when you reach the end and get every piece through and you see how big this pile is, and then I knew I have sorted the pieces that are flower petals and green in this corner and the lighter pieces in this corner, but I have, and also these are really many pieces. I think the most of the pieces are in here, although this is also a big pile. But this is all that's like brownish and light white, and then this pattern I think it's the stained glass in the background, and it has every color. The colors for the stained glass, that's green, really dark green, really dark green, is here. Sometimes the mixture is also here. Sometimes when it's blue or light pink, then it's also here. But there sometimes are orange or yellow or whitish. All these other colors are here in this corner. Here are all the plain pieces with brown, and here are all these pieces that are really white or have this the violet one I have sorted in here, but violet is most of them, and then some of them here. The most of them are white or green, and I think about this area I have sorted in here. I didn't think that the green ones, they're mostly here. And here is the peacock, some pieces of the butterflies, and some pieces of this orange trees. Of course, the round orange pieces, and so that's oranges. And I'm relatively fast aware that these pieces existed, so I thought sort them in here, but I think there would be many pieces in here and in here also, of course. So I don't know. And of course I have this violet of the orchid and this yellow flowers, and the yellow with orange and the yellow with red. I also all yellow, plain yellow flowers are in here. Not this here, not this here, is also in the orange, but all that's so bright yellow are in here, and it's not so many. So I've sorted them out. At the first glance I see these pieces, and I think maybe it's better to have one, maybe a little bit accurate sorting pile. I really think that would be a trouble. I will sort every pile of pieces multiple times to have pieces that I could puzzle. Cause that's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and that's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and that's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and so on. It's so much pieces. So I didn't think this sort is accurate enough to do this puzzle easily. But I think I'm doing the edge only because then it's built and I knew how long it took me, and then going to the next thing. But building the edge, it's not necessary. So it's not necessary to do the edge. I will take I make roundabouts. It's 8 o'clock now. So let's get started on the edge. So I've missorted some of the edge pieces. I think it was that there are 3 or 4 pieces missing. I didn't count them really, because I don't want to do on the edge very much, so it didn't bother me. I've finished the edge like I could, and it took me 1 hour and 50 minutes to finish the edge. This a relatively long time, I would say, but it's a big puzzle, maybe, and there were many pieces, and I wasn't that used to the puzzle. Sometimes they fit really nicely and tight, and sometimes they a little bit crumbly, and the pattern didn't. It was difficult to do the pattern sometimes, so it is that took me 1 hour and 50 minutes is many pieces, and trying to find the pattern. And yeah, on the alignment of the two puzzles, or the two sections, there were a little disalignment with the with the picture, but it was no problem at all. It only was a little bit off, and yeah, that was the edge. Then I've tried to talk a little bit about my gameplay and what I want to start with. And first, I'm only thinking of resorting my pieces, cause I knew I couldn't puzzle with these big piles. But then I thought doing first the really simple things, and doing first the small piles I make. First I tried to do the peacock and then the flowers, and from there it comes to the first problem thing, then trying to sort the first bucket. But I think I'll leave it like that. We make it a little bit faster, and when I dig on the next thing to do, then we hear each other on the next overtone. So maybe I say 1 or 2 sentences and then leave it by that, because I don't want to talk too much. So let's take the peacock off. I think I haven't got any pieces more. And the oranges are 2 less pieces. Didn't find anything. The butterflies, it finished like a wood, but I've missed many pieces, I think. But here are 1 or 2 of bird puzzle pieces, but it's 2 less to puzzle, really. Yeah. I don't know. That's maybe a... So the red butterfly is more pieces than I thought I did. And I don't know if there are many pieces where I didn't know where they go, and I think to go further, have nice new pieces, and doing the next. And when I need the space, then I take it off or take it on a foam board or so, whatever. But if the section is too great, I think I have to move, because the pieces fit together nice, but if they become a greater amount, then it's in your hand is a little bit crumbly. So I think it's better to move them off when the sections are not so big. So, but the fit is nice. And I think I need more time with the puzzle to see where it goes or how it went together, or if I have many false fittings or so whether. I think I need more time to dig in the puzzle and then see it through. But the printing is really nice and the pieces fit nice, and yeah. So bye.
And here, after I built the peacock, then I built the orchids, and then I dig in my first of the buckets with these brown pieces, and I dig out all this what's white. And here I got to my red pieces, and I sort the red pieces anew.
So, hi. Slightly short update, because I think sometimes when it's come to night and I come in my room and want to come down and then I think, oh, maybe I could do a little bit on the puzzle, and it's always more or less 20 minutes to half an hour or an hour, and I don't take every time I don't take footage, because this yellow I dumped out and turn it all over and try to do a little bit. That was 20 minutes, and you didn't see that the yellows get up. So maybe it's a little bit unfair doing the puzzle where you don't look, but sometimes I want to enjoy a little bit of the puzzle, and then I don't think it's necessary to you when I'm doing here and there some sorting or some puzzling, and it's only 20 minutes or in half an hour or even an hour. I think I don't want to have footage, and sometimes I don't say anything, so I cut them. So that's the thing, the one thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is that's a really hard puzzle. The first 6,000 piece puzzle have amount of piles, big amount of piles, and they were big, and I have sorted them and then they come together. Yes, the starting was every time a little bit coming in the puzzle, or so coming in with the pieces and sort them in and trying to rearrange everything, and it was always a little bit, whew, are there many pieces in my piles. But I never get so immersively stuck when I dump out the pieces, and I knew for the first time, for the first sight, the flowers would be really difficult, and I will show it to you because I stand it here. This is the only reference picture I have, and it's a small picture, and there are many bunch of flowers here, here, and they are all more or less in the front. And so I think I do first the front things and then getting in the back. So here there are many pieces with this mosaic-like glasses, and you have every color in every variation round about. But I really thought doing first the flowers in the front and maybe sorting the green in the front, and then doing the colorful sections between. It immersive hard. This puzzle is really hard to build. It's a nice picture, and I really like the picture as I choose it. I always like flowers, but flowers are difficult to puzzle, and also the bunch of flowers. I think I really must look at the box or look at the picture and see where these flowers are. Of course, they're really difficult to see where they go, where they're connected, or which flower is attached to them. So maybe I can see some of them, but that's a hard, tricky pile of pieces. Let me do some puzzling and hopefully it gets better and better. But there are so many pieces on my table now, and I think they are all flowers.
So to be honest, every time when I'm talking about how I built a puzzle or what should I do, then I'm always a little bit struggling while I'm in a thought process of building puzzle and not talking. And so yes, I've dumped out the yellow pieces on off camera, and sometimes I do off camera a little bit sorting because the sorting process was really long. And now I've tried to do this bunch of flowers because I want to have these flowers in the front before I build everything else, and I have the red pieces, and the most of them are red, orange or yellow, and the big flowers. And so I'm thinking I could do all this. So I sprang a little bit here and there and tried to sort out my pieces. When I've got stuck, I try to shape sort them or even sort them in colors. So I have orange pieces on the side and yellow pieces, and then I shape sort the pieces, also trying to sort out the pink pieces or the liney pieces. And every time I get stuck, I sort pieces or doing another bunch of pieces that I knew I have now many pieces to build up a distinct section of the puzzle itself. And so the process is always a little bit springing here and there, and it's not always easy to see what I'm doing. And I really couldn't explain what I'm just doing. I'm hard trying to get this bunch of flowers in, but I found pink flowers, and then I think, oh, that's make more fun to build big pink flowers, or the daisy-like flowers, reds, about the other. I could do there a little bit more when I've got stuck, and always come back to this bunch of flowers in the corner. And that takes me long time to do. Here you see I tried to find a piece. I really search long after this piece, and I get lucky to find this piece. So here I find it. But you see how slowly it's going to picking the spot and trying to fill in the spot. Makes it really unnecessary hard. And here I get little bit lost on the other. But it was hard to build this puzzle, to build this bunch of flowers. And then I'm thinking it's too hard to build this bunch of flowers. I don't want to anymore. I change my plan. I tried to resort my brown pieces anew and trying to do a little bit of the brown pieces now.
Oh, my slightly short update. I tried to make it really short. Of course, I went to make a game change. The flowers are unexpected hard. I have the pieces, but they didn't go in. I've puzzled hours and hours, and let me show you here. That's all I've got. I think I don't know how much work time there is. I think maybe 3 to 6 hours. But it's really unnecessary hard. I think it's more 6 hours than 3. And so I decided to make a game change. First, I've done many things on the foam boards. Divided the edge on the 4 quadrants. They're not good divided, because here's a really small edge, and the other are a little bit bigger. Of course, I have already pieces, and I didn't want to divide them, so I leave it there. Of course, they fit, and the boards, 4 boards, are way too much tall for the puzzle, so I can have small sections or small corners.
So now I'm really making up my mind to not do this bunch of flowers in the front, but doing all the other things to have an outframing for my bunch of flowers. So I changed my mind and dig on the new next pile of the blue pieces, which I wouldn't touch as soon as I did now, but it's always better to get on with new pieces than stuck on the old pieces.
So I want to do a short update this time, and I want to do this without distraction. So I cannot stop when I'm on the puzzle. I have missorted my pieces so much, and the puzzle is so difficult that I always sort some of the pieces together and then doing a little of them. And more or less, some pieces get together, but I really have the feeling I've got stuck, nothing get done. I don't know where the pieces are to what I found, and there are pieces everywhere, and there are much blues. The brown and brownish pieces are all here. The red I've dumped in the box. I have pieces here and I have pieces there, and I want to know where every piece is. And then I get really Fuchsy frustrated because there is so much to do on the puzzle, and I've thrown in here a bunch of pieces and then doing the next. I don't want to say that I'm overly frustrated so that I say, no, I don't want to do this puzzle anymore. I give it up. I dump it in a box. I never do the puzzle again. No, I will finish the puzzle. I will dig every piece. I will find every piece. I will sort every piece. I'm complaining on a high-end level, of course. I knew I have the patience for it. I would do and end this puzzle. But the quality isn't the best. And when you when you're about to do a Bluebird puzzle, especially the 6000, do not mix the bags and don't buy them. It's best. I'm looking about to see if I get another Clementonian course. That was a really good puzzle. It was a nice puzzle to do. It was a bright colored and the pieces were so nice to build, and look on the piece and knew where it goes. And also the sky was really difficult, but that was not so hard to sort. Also hard to collect them, that I would say no, 10 hours sky, I don't mind. I like puzzling, and I've gone through these frustrating things, but this is never ending negative in my mind, course. They have so many false fits, the pieces are so small, they are not unique cut. There are so many greens, especially this puzzle, so many flowers, and it's really difficult to puzzle flowers and leaves and greens. And this is the ultimate thing. It's a nice picture, really. I think when I'm buying it, I like this picture. I like this picture really. I think it's bright colors and nice textures and the light coming through and a bunch of flowers, and I like flowers, and a bunch of greens, and I like greens, and I'm really thinking that's a nice picture to puzzle, but it's so hard to build. I really wish it would be less hard. And I'm not liking this, I really want to enjoy this, and sometimes I'm thinking about why did I do this to myself? And then I think, no, I've chosen this puzzle and I will do this puzzle and I will do this, although I don't want to be so nerved by sitting on a puzzle. I want to do it and I want to enjoy it. So please, puzzle, help me. So let's get started, and I think I've trying to do a little bit of the blue and then digging out the greens and sorted them. And then maybe I'll get to enjoy this at some point, maybe. Bye for now.
And here we get to the green pieces. The first time I sorted the green pieces new.
Yes, and now I want to remove everything from the foam board what's not fitting on this quadrant, and so I try to get all of the extra pieces off of the board and trying to fill in what I've could find and what is left to pick, one or two pieces in. And then I want to sort a little bit of the green pieces before I get on the big board. So that's here, and then we get to the big board. Sorry, I don't think that the whole board is needed for the puzzle, for the Bluebird puzzle. That's the board for the Camentoni, and the Camentoni is way bigger than the Bluebird. So I think it would easily fit on, and I have extra space for the pieces on the side. That's really, really nice. And I think we start to throw in the pieces and the puzzle on the board. It would be taking a little time. I think I'll make it faster because it would be a half an hour till the sections that are done and the edges on the table. So let me do this and then we see where we are. Yes, and here we get on the big board. You see there are not so many sections like the last time I got on the board. I really thought that it is too early to get on the big board, but this puzzle was so distracting, annoying from all this. Here and there I found pieces and I want to see everything. The board's getting really difficult to puzzle on, and so yeah. I wish I could show you a last picture of the puzzle while I'm ending here this first video of the build, but more or less it's what you see now. I puzzle a little bit further, but that's I'm reaching the end of the video now. I hope you have enjoyed this first build puzzle with this here and there overtone, here and there real tone. I hope it's enjoyable to you. So have a nice day or evening of whenever you watch the video, and we see each other in part 2 of the building. So bye and happy Hobby allerseits!